Hello ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button if you want to learn about the Toyota Tundra and see what is out there as we search for some of the greatest 2025 Toyota Tundras all over the United States. Speaking of all over the United States, we are headed today to Portland, Oregon to look at a couple Tundras that I think you guys need to see, especially after the video I made last week on a 2025 Platinum TRD Off-Road iForce Max Crew Max with the 6.5-foot bed and the TRD 3-inch lift, and the dealership put a bigger, more aggressive tire on the truck as well, which is what a lot of you, the owners and potential customers, ask Toyota to do with these Tundras with the TRD 3-inch lift. Now, we're going back to that same dealership. A few of you have asked to see some Tundras down in the SR5 trim level with that kind of a build on it, maybe saving you in the neighborhood of $20,000. A lot of these trucks that I show you, whether it be the TRD Pros with the performance package, the Platinum that we just spoke about with the 6.5-foot bed and the TRD 3-inch lift, those prices are up in the $80,000 to $85,000 range. But I will show you today, Ron Tonkin Toyota, you should really check out their website, because they have a lot of trucks like this on their website. I'm going to show you some SR5s today that are hovering around $60,000 with a very good looking build on it. And after the two that I'm going to show you, there is a bonus truck at the end because it's a setup we never get to see, but a lot of you ask for. So let's look at our first one from Ron Tonkin Toyota here. This is a 2025 Tundra SR5. This is a 4x4 Crew Max with the 6.5-foot bed. This does have a lift on it. It's not the TRD lift, which you will see very shortly, but it has the 20-inch TRD wheels from the TRD Off-Road Package Tundras of Limited, Platinum, and 1794. Normally, the SR5 TRD Off-Road gets an 18-inch TRD wheel that looks a little bit different, but this does have the upgraded TRD wheel, and it also has an upgraded tire. So Ron Tonkin must do this on a lot of their trucks because this is now the third or fourth one I've seen, and it looks fantastic. With the right lift and the right wheel and tire package, the new generation Tundra looks awesome, especially with that 6.5-foot bed. Price, this is what you guys always want to see first before we talk about the details. This truck, before all of the work they did to it, was $57,340. They added $9,499 worth of accessories, but then there are some discounts. So the dealership is discounting the truck $3,658. The incentive from Toyota is discounting another $3,000. So the advertised price of this SR5, $60,181, a far cry from the $84,000 Platinum I showed you last time. And we will talk about, after I show you these couple of trucks, some of the differences if you were looking at SR5 versus Platinum, and it really has to do with luxury features. But let's check this truck out first. Just look at the stance of this thing. Now, because it's TRD Off-Road, you're going to get locking rear diff, multi-terrain select, crawl control. This particular Tundra has the upgraded 20-inch TRD wheels from the higher trims. You get a TRD grille up front. You get the TRD decal on the side of the bed in the back. On the inside of the truck, you get the TRD shifter, red TRD engine start button, and the sport pedals. There's a lot of ways you can build an SR5 Tundra. This one has a very minimalist approach. It has the fabric interior. It has the 8-inch infotainment screen. This is not a fully loaded SR5, but if you wanted Softex heated seats and the 14-inch infotainment screen and things like the advanced off-road technology package, which includes the 360 camera, the power folding mirrors, that is available on SR5, but this one is not a fully loaded SR5. That is what some of you were asking about in the comments. You wanted to see some that didn't have all of the bells and whistles, trying to keep the cost down as low as possible, but still have that look and capability that you would want. This also has the blacked out badging here to go along with this setup. When you go TRD off-road on SR5, you get the chrome surround and the chrome rear bumper, but it actually looks very good with the all black setup on the rest of the truck. And there's the stance. This is actually a rough country lift, as you will see when we look at some of the accessories they installed, but the stance is good, the tire is good. This is a 35 by 12.50 20. So really nice tire. I'm guessing this is a 3-inch lift because you're going to need as much lift as you can to fit that wheel and tire package in there, but it's a way to make the SR5 look amazing. Here's a look at the interior. Yes, it doesn't have a lot of the features that you can get in a loaded SR5, but it still has everything you would need. And again, because of TRD off-road package, multi-terrain select, locking rear diff, crawl control. You get the stuff you would want to make the Tundra more capable here. There's an up-close look. TONNEAU Ridge Grappler, 35 by 12.50 R20 LT tire, and the 20-inch TRD off-road wheel. Here's the dealer installed equipment for $9,500. You get a rough country lift kit. Once again, I'm guessing about 3-inch lift kit. The TRD black wheels, 35 by 12.50 TONNEAU Ridge Grappler tires, blacked out emblems, cast aluminum running boards, and the cat shield. So that is a nice Tundra for sure to start on. Midnight Black Metallic always looks good. But how about Lunar Rock? You guys like Lunar Rock. This is a similar setup, but this one does have the TRD 3-inch lift. Few different options on this. And again, this is a TRD off-road SR5 in the same kind of build. This is not one with the bigger screen or the soft text. Same kind of setup on the inside, but it is Lunar Rock exterior with the black fabric interior. This truck is $61,934, and they added about $8,000 worth of accessories on this, and the discount totals $5,500, making the truck $64,433. Take a look at that truck. This has the same wheel and tire package. Some of the differences here, again, the TRD 3-inch lift, that adds $4,000 to the sticker right there. This has the Predator steps on the side as well, and I believe it has a TRD skid plate when we get to the breakdown. This also has aftermarket over fenders, as you can see there. Let me know what you think in the comments below on them. Do you like the look of them, especially on the Lunar Rock paint? And there's your stance. A very nice stance. I don't know how I feel about the over fenders that they put on this, but again, you can let me know what you think in the comments below. The interior is pretty much the same thing. You got black fabric on the last truck. It was more of a gray fabric, but you still get, the lock and rear diff multi-terrain select crawl control, the sport pedals, the red TRD engine start button, and the TRD shifter because it's TRD off-road. Wheel and tire package there. And as we continue on, this has the SR5 convenience package because it has the blind spot monitoring and the parking sensors, which means, of course, it has the 32-gallon tank. 32-gallon tank is actually standard on the CrewMax with the 6.5-foot bed, so that's always good to know. Here's what they installed on this one. $8,000 worth of stuff. 35 by 12.50 TONNEAU Ridge Grappler tires, TRD black wheels, rough country fender flares, blacked out badging, rigid amber LED fog lights, TRD skid plate, Predator steps, and the 3-inch lift is mentioned down in the features that came from the factory on the truck. What is your thoughts on those two SR5s? We still have a third truck to look at today. Again, it's one we don't normally see, so I wanted to make sure you saw it all at the same dealership, which made it very easy. But before we move on, I wanted to talk very briefly about the differences you would see going from an SR5 to a Platinum, because the truck I showed you last week from this same dealership with that same kind of build and setup was a Platinum, which is a luxury trim of Tundra. So standard in Platinum are things like that 14-inch screen. It has leather seats that are heated and ventilated front and rear, memory function for driver, massaging seats on the front seats, pano roof, JBL, digital gauge cluster, premium auto leveling headlights. So the big differences are in the features. The SR5 can be had like this, and I'm not talking about the lift or anything like that, just talking about interior features. It can be had with the fabric, the smaller screen, but you can build it up to add the 360 camera, the power folding mirrors, the 14-inch screen, and Softex heated seats. You can't get heated and ventilated seats. You can't get JBL. You can't get pano. So the big price difference there from that Platinum we saw last week to this, where it's like about a $20,000 difference, it's all those luxury features. That Platinum was also an iForce Max as well. And that's why I always tell you guys, make sure you go to Toyota.com, build and price tool, hit the specs, and you can actually take each truck and compare what is on each to see the differences. SR is pretty base. That's the starting trim of Toyota Tundra. SR5, you could start getting some features, but it's still fairly basic. Limited, you can build multiple ways. It's kind of the middle of the trim range where you can start getting some of those luxury features, but not all of them. You have to package the truck correctly to get what you want. Platinum and 1794 are the luxury feature Tundras where everything is standard. Capstone has even better stuff in it standard. And of course there's TRD Pro, which is pretty much a heavily built limited with its own unique features. But if you go in there and learn the difference between standard and optional as you go up through the trim range, you will start to see. Some people want that fully loaded $84,000, very expensive Platinum with everything. They want all the bells and whistles. Some people want the truck to be capable, have a look to it, nice wheel and tire and a nice lift. Maybe you want to look down here in SR5, but it's not just SR5 and Platinum. All of the trims you can do different TRD lifts with, different wheel and tire packages with, and they'll look great. The big differences come with those interior features and things like premium auto leveling headlights, sequential taillights, stuff like that. So make sure you study up, become a pro on the Tundra before you go spend your hard-earned money. And last but not least, let's look at a Tundra that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but just something you guys always ask to see, and they're not out there very much. This is a 2025 iForce Max Limited, okay? This is the Crew Max with the 6.5-foot bed. This actually has the tow mirrors. Many of you, few times a week, always say, how come I could never find the Crew Max with the 6.5-foot bed Tundras with tow mirrors? Because everybody feels like that should be tied together. This truck is built to do the job, all right? So you're gonna tow with this truck, you're gonna have the big bed for your gear, you got the cab for the crew, and because you're gonna tow often with this truck, you want the tow mirrors. So this is a nice setup here. This is not TRD off-road, but it is iForce Max. This is the hybrid. So we were just talking about the differences in some of the options when you go from SR5 all the way up to Platinum. Limited is right in the middle of all of it. This particular one has the JBL, it has the pano, it has the limited power package, which includes the wireless charger and includes the bed lights and outlet. This doesn't have the limited premium package, which is the premium auto leveling headlights and the trailer assist package. So you got to know how to look for your limited. I always tell people in SR5 and limited, really pay attention to the features and understand what you're getting and not getting, because that is where most of the packages you have to add to make the truck what you want. When you get up into 1794 and Platinum, all that stuff becomes standard. But this particular one is loaded pretty nice. Lunar Rock, of course. Good to see an iForce Max. There's not much differences for the Tundra for 2025 when it comes to, the iForce Max. They changed the badging on the hood. There's a badge on the back now. And in SR5 Upgrade, which is like the higher end SR5s, and all of the upper trims from that, limited and up, there's a power up-down tailgate. So this one here is 68,322, and there is a Toyota incentive of $2,000, making the truck 66,322. There's a look at the truck. Now, some of the standard features you're going to get with the Limited, you're going to get the heated and ventilated soft tech seats. They're heated and ventilated in the front, and there's a memory function for driver. The 14-inch screen is standard. The digital gauge cluster is standard. So you start getting into some of those higher end features as you move up from SR5 into Limited. Again, this has the 6.5-foot bed. It is the hybrid engine. This has the blacked out badging on it. It has a kick down step. So a nicely set up Limited here. Again, not fully loaded, but close to fully loaded. And it has those factory tow mirrors. I think I need you guys to go down in the comments below and let me know how important those factory tow mirrors are to you. And do you wish you saw more Tundras out there with them? This does not have locking rear diff, multi-terrain select, and crawl control. That is TRD Off-Road, TRD Rally, and TRD Pro only. So if that matters to you, again, make sure you're paying attention. This does have the trailer brake control, of course. So let me know what you think in the comments below. We were seeing some really expensive Tundras. You guys asked to see something down in the SR5 range that has that look and some capability, say the 6.5-foot bed, the wheel and tire package that some of these dealerships throw on the trucks when they have the TRD 3-inch lift. Ron Tonkin actually, has some really nice options. I didn't even show you all of them. There's like 50 Tundras on their website, on their lot. So those are a couple I was able to find, but I wanted to show you ones that weren't $85,000 for once, and now we're down in that $60,000 range. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any of these, do you like them? And if you are a owner or soon to be owner of a Tundra with a TRD 3-inch lift, is this the wheel and tire package you would want to go with? Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Be safe, be well. Hey, and on your way out, hit that subscribe button.